Okay, moving into set two. I guess. Huh. Okay. In the bottom left, we have infected. Who okay. Who is the brown Zerg, and that is the 7 o'clock position. And in the top right is LancerX. From Russia, he's the Teal Protoss. LancerX, aka Must, and that is 2 o'clock. Reset scores, and boom. So, this is going to be a very nice game. Two high-level players. Yeah. I always have to guess about, like, what rank they reached. Because a lot of people, like, they're obviously a lot higher than the B max that they did, just because they don't like laddering. But I think both of these guys are, like, B plus, A minus caliber. I'm almost certain LancerX has gotten A minus, if not A. Infected, I don't know if he's gotten to A minus, but it really wouldn't surprise me. He's very talented. Anyway, so yeah, two of the better players from the teams. In my own personal rankings, as I said before, Russia is just like a whole big mess of a whole bunch of people at the top. But Infected, definitely the second best player for Eastern Europe. Very consistent. There's some other guys on Eastern Europe who can surprise, like Oxford can surprise, but Infected is very solid. Alright. So, looks like Infected hiding a drone up here, because he doesn't want to deal with the probe blocking the hatchery from going down. He's going to expand to the mineral only first. Interesting. That mineral only is not easily defended with SimCity, and it doesn't have a gas. I'm expecting some very aggressive play out of Infected here. If you don't have a huge number of Hydralisks, this base is just so hard to defend as Zerg, because you have to defend down this ramp, and Sunkens have a miss chance, and you can't SimCity it, or at least you can't SimCity it well. Granted, the top left, bottom right expos you can't SimCity either very efficiently, but not as badly as this one. Meanwhile, LancerX, being rather aggressive himself, has his gateway out. Oops. A little bit of a mistake there from LancerX, I guess, forgetting to throw down the Nexus. But allowing himself to get up to 500 minerals before setting it down. But still, being aggressive, going with Gateway first, still has not built a Forge. No Forge from him yet. Certainly going to need one in this game, but I think he can get away with not using it now. I think this seems like something specific to the map. Because as I said, either this space or this space up here, the blackness, is hard to defend for a Zerg. So if you go for an early Zealot attack, or a stronger than normal Zealot attack, as it's looking like LancerX wants to gear up for, it can really be painful for a Zerg. A lot more so than like on Jade. On Jade, what LancerX is doing would not be as strong. And yeah, here we go. 4th hatchery going down in the natural before gas. We have some serious aggression coming out from Infected here. He is going to almost certainly Hydra Bust. I mean, there are some other kind of things that Zergs can do in terms of aggression, but almost certainly Hydra Bust. Did I say... Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. Sorry. In chat, it made it look like for a second that I said, when I was talking about ranks, that Infected might be B minus. And if I had accidentally said B minus, I meant to say he might be A minus. But I'm pretty sure that that's something different. And that I did in fact say A minus. Alright, so Probe coming in to scout just wants to look at this base, look at the drone count, look at the defenses for these zealots to decide which direction they want to go up. Oh, Overlord sees them, but there's not a whole lot the Zerglings can do. There's simply not enough. And how much longer until the Hydralisk den? What? I don't know what the evolution chamber's for. Like, upgrades are good, but what? He doesn't need spore colonies this early. Why'd you build an evolution chamber? Okay. Getting the early upgrades, I guess. Seems like a Hydralisk den would have been a better idea, in my humble opinion, but you know what? If you start the upgrades early now, you can have 1-1 Hydralisks instead of 1-0. And that's nice. I mean, he is dealing with the Zealot attack. He has enough hatcheries that he can make that larva isn't an issue, and he can just make as many Zerglings as he needs. It is going to cost him quite a few drones, though, and he does not exactly have drones to spare. Looks like 4, 6, and the last Zealot goes down. Less than 20 drones across 3 bases. Alright. So, we have our Stargate done. First Corsair is coming out. So, yeah. He shouldn't need to build Spore Colonies because he should have a Hydralisk and wow. Double Evo Chamber before 7 minutes. I'm intrigued by this style from Infected. You don't often see Zerg players so gung-ho on getting upgrades. Because there's so many other cool things that Zergs could get instead of upgrades. They could get more expansions, or lurkers, or mutalisks. Typically it's mutalisks, but I like this. I like this from Infected. I'm really interested to see how it works out for him. Because, I mean, with the double Evo Chamber, he can go for, like, a freaking 2-1 Hydralisk bust? Or a 1-2? I don't know how much stronger a Hydralisk bust gets with that kind of upgrades, but I want to know. I don't know, maybe he doesn't even Hydralisk bust. Maybe he just wants to get upgrades. I mean, he almost certainly has Hydralisk bust, right? He doesn't even have a lair. But I don't know. I'm just not going to say anything more about it. Well, I'm obviously going to say more about it. It's kind of my job, but I'm gonna let Infected do his thing. I'm gonna let it blossom out into the beautiful strategy that it inevitably will be. Shoutouts to Bulgaria. Shoutouts to Bulgaria because this is Technics doesn't do this, but I feel that he has kind of a similar ZVP philosophy of I don't need Mutalisks. I don't even need Scourge. I can play ZVP, and I can do it by getting lots of Hydralisks and just having an overwhelming ground army. And all of those resources I'm going to save on Mutalisks and Scourge go right back into upgrades. And you don't see them, not necessarily these upgrades, and not necessarily this quickly. What Technics does in his one of his signature styles is going for very quick 6 hatcheries. 6 hatch Hydralisk. And I love that style. I absolutely love watching Technics play that style versus Protoss. And I kind of feel like this is a similar thing, because you're just ignoring the Spire. And I can't say it enough, Spires are simply overrated. They do not absolutely need to be made in every goddamn game a Zerg player plays. You can get away with not making one. I'm just waiting for somebody really good to prove it. And it looks like that player is going to come out of Bulgaria. Shoutouts to Bulgaria. Alright. Damn, man. It makes me sad. Makes me sad, man. Alright. I don't even think I said Bakuryu's name in that. Like, I don't know what he's whining about. I said Technics, right? Didn't I say Technics? I was thinking about Technics. Part of my whole Bulgaria thing. Anyway, here comes Infected. LancerX with a Reaver. And with a lot of Storm. Ouch. That is really painful, but because he has so many hatcheries and he has so many Hydralisks, he can actually just pick himself up after eating that many Hydralisks lost and still pick off the Reaver and still pick off the Cannon. Not quite enough to beat the Zealots back. The Zealots are a little bit too beefy, but... What the fuck? Apparently, I can't time out Bakuryu. Or, because Bakuryu's a mod, he can untime out himself. Whatever. Alright, that's cool. Or maybe Game did it, I don't know. So, Infect is coming in again with a lot of Hydralisks. This time, LancerX does not have the fanciness to keep him alive. No Storm, no, no Reavers, but still does have a whole mess of Speedlots. And Infected just can't quite deal with those Speedlots yet. How much longer until Lurkers? Wow! We are skipping right over Lair stage. We are going directly to Hive. Landed on the go directly to Hive, do not pass Lair, do not collect $200. Interesting. Interesting. Normally when you see a player go for a lot of hatcheries early, it's not to go for Hive. It's to go for a big Lair army. He's going to have good upgrades in the Lair stage and going to attack in the Lair stage and just incorporate Lurkers in when he can. But no, Infect is just going to skip right over that and go Hive. Oh, man. I'm actually a little bit giddy. Like, this excites me, Infected. I want to see this work. Cause when I'm sitting alone in my room, like, metagaming up Zerg matchups, even though I don't play Zerg. Ooh. Dang, Storm Drop. I'm pretty sure it was Storm Drop. Might have been Reaver Drop. Anyway, when I'm sitting alone in my room, metagaming Zerg matchups that I don't play, this is how I think Zerg should be played. I think that this is really strong, and I just want to see somebody do it. And Infected's finally doing it, and now he just needs to win and get a Spire. Fine, Infected, get your damn Spire, bastard. He doesn't need this. He's really only getting it to get some Scourge, to deal with the shuttles, I guess. Unless he's going Guardians, and then my brain just melts. But nah, almost certain it's just to stop the shuttle harass. And that's fine, I guess. You really need it. Alright. We do have an Lurker upgrade done, so that's quite nice. And we have 1-2 on the Hydralisks, 1-2 on the Lynx. Those are quite nice upgrades. Those are a little bit better than normal upgrades when a Zerg normally goes to Hive. But in fact, it's going to Hive a lot quicker than a normal Zerg. So these upgrades might just be... could be really bad for LancerX, who's at 2-0. Definitely behind in the upgrades, where Protoss normally expects to be ahead. But Protoss does have a large ground army with Reaver support, with a lot of High Templar support. This is going to be a difficult battle for Infected to win when it inevitably comes up. And he does not have SimCity anywhere. There is zero SimCity for Infected. So he can't hide behind anything. He just needs to use his enormous army to great effect here. Ooh. Goes in for a Hydralisk snipe, doesn't quite get a Reaver, but he does take out the shuttle, so the Reavers will not participate in the beginning of this battle. And actually, those Hydralisks dying there are going to be made up for the fact that the Reavers are just not contributing at all. Now they're finally getting in there, but that snipe, it looked bad because he sacrificed a control group of Hydralisks, or almost a control group, for just a shuttle, but that's actually going to turn out very well for Infected. Infected is going to be able to attack into somewhat of a choke of that LancerX is set up and win it through overwhelming numbers, through overwhelming upgrades. The 2 attack is finished. LancerX can do nothing but smile. And man, if Infected had not killed that shuttle, the Reavers would have been in the fight, and they would have been able to do tons of damage, but no! A brilliant, brilliant play by Infected. Oh, man. Very nice, but this is nowhere near over. LancerX right back in there with a huge army. Infected did not go for a Hydralisk bust, did not go for any Mutalisk harass, so LancerX has not had to deal with any kind of real Zerg opposition in his base. He has a outstanding economy at this point. So Infect is going to need a few more battles like that, but we are setting ourselves up for a really nice game here with both players having gone for these very greedy, very economic builds, and we're going to see the full extent of what they're capable of doing here. Looks like a probe transfer. Can't quite catch it. A little bit unfortunate for Infected there. Although it does look like he's going to be able to win this fight up top. These Lings have to have crack by now, I assume. Yes, of course they have crack. Ooh, those 2/2 cracklings. Alright. Looks like Infected has just so many units that he's picking up reinforcements, or picking off reinforcements, I should say. And man, the Lings are coming in. I mean, these attacks can be strong, but where's the Defiler? Where's the Defiler, Infected? Okay, fine. Just kill it all anyway. Whatever. You got the hatcheries. Lings are free, I guess. But like, Defilers would be pretty good. Okay, Infected. I'm not even gonna say that. Not even gonna say that, Infected. You do what you're doing. If Infecteds are not part of your master game plan here, maybe you don't need them. Maybe you could use that gas on something else. I don't know what, but something. Just gonna let you do your thing, man. It's working. It's working. He almost manages to take out this base. But a couple more Zealots come in. The Zealots do have 3 attack, but the Lings already have their 3 armor. LancerX never hit a point where the Zealots could 2-shot the Lings. At no point in this game could Zealots 2-shot Lings, and that is quite the feat. That is quite the feat from Infected here. Alright, there's the Defiler mount. Alright, Infected. Infected. Where are the Defilers? Defilers. Oh, okay. That did not have anything in it. Or any kills on it. Defiler. Too many hatcheries. Not enough Defilers. Defiler? I can't find the Defiler. I don't even know if there is a Defiler. Okay, no Defiler. Infected has managed to take both the 12 and the 6. So now the map is completely taken. There is not a single base that does not have a gathering center at it. And Infected's winning the split. 6-4. Ah, I found a Defiler! Well, unfortunately it's only Zealot, so I can't use it quite yet. But, actually, yeah, there's like 2 Gannons and 2 Dragoons. So Defiler's not going to be useful right here. But Plague, he could get Plague. Plague. Ah, Plague needs a little bit more, and ooh, that's a juicy Plague right there. It's a very juicy Plague. Ooh, this is... Okay. I don't like how Infected is not catching these transfers. When he has this many units all around the map, he should be able to just have a Ling here. Just to see it. I don't know if he could react quickly enough to do anything about it if he just had a Ling sitting here, but he should have a Ling sitting here. Kind of like how the Scourge and this drone is sitting here. Or this Overlord sitting here. He just has a lot of stuff around. Ooh, there we go. We got a Plague off. We got a Plague off. Didn't hit either of the DTs, so they're still invisible. Not sure if Infected noticed that. I don't see any Overlords moving, so I don't think he quite realized they're DTs yet. We also have our Ultralisk Cavern, getting our Ultralisk upgrades. Those should be coming out relatively soon. Is that a second Plague, or is that just the... No, I think... yeah, that's just the first Plague, once again. And Infected is going to... No! Not quite be able to overwhelm. Archons... Three attack upgrade Archons. Little bit too good. Little bit too good versus the Lynx. When they can just one-shot them in big bulks like that. I still don't know if Infectors realize the DTs have come out. The DTs can do some good damage, but they're really... Oh! Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay. Unfortunate for LancerX. The DTs can do some good damage before... versus a normal army, but they'll really come to shine against the Ultralisks if LancerX can manage to get them in there again with that... not under the cover of Overlords. Anyway, looks like they did some damage to this base, though. And the DT's coming back, but no, nothing he could do. He's surrounded by the Hydralisks. Oh, he survived. Ooh, that's a little bit of a mistake. That's a little bit of a mistake allowing that thing to live. Keep an eye on that, see if it comes back. Now, LancerX got some really great, really two really good storms off in the beginning of the game. And since then, we have not seen him with his High Templar. His High Templar have not been as effective as they should have been against a very heavy Hydralisk Zergling army. So, even now, at this late stage of the game, there's like 3 here? There's 3, there's a storm, doesn't do anything at all. Ooh, Plague! Nah, okay. It's okay. Second Plague going down, he hits the shuttle. That's really what he was aiming for there. It makes it so that 1 Scourge can kill it now, and that's nice. And really, the Hydralisk can snipe it very quickly. It's only 6 Hydralisk shots. So, 6 Hydralisks can one-shot it, or a pack of 3 Hydralisks can easily kill it if it's flying a little bit too close. There's no Hydralisks here. That's a bit of a problem. Should run away with the Ultralisks. Run away with the Ultralisk. Play going off on the Reavers. That's nice. No, he's not going to save the Ultralisk. Instead, the Lings come in. There's the Swarm. There's the Storm on the Lings. It's actually a very nice one. Oh, and reinforcements coming up from behind. Infected. This is the way Infected wants to play at this point. He just is going to have so many units. And if he can coordinate these kind of counterattacks, he will be absolutely invincible. But it's so difficult to pull off. We'll see. We're just going to have to wait and see whether he can make it happen. The Lings coming in. They're going to try to snipe the Reavers. No. Not quite able to get that second Reaver. They do get 1, though. And he's just trying to whittle down Lancer's army. But the supply. He only has 100 supply right now. It's not going to stop him from attacking, though. Just units coming in from all directions right now. Might cost him this base here, but it's already mined out. So not the worst thing in the world right now. Really, yeah. 250 minerals left, or 230 minerals left. Coming in. The Reaver does finally go down, but this is not a big enough army to do anything. Here comes some more Ultralisks. Oh, man. You know what? This is actually going to turn out pretty well for Infected. Even though LancerX killed off a lot of stuff, even though LancerX took a base... this base doesn't matter. It's mined out. It's fine. And Infected, all of a sudden, blink of an eye, from down 50 to up 20. Well, only up by like 3 now, but he was up by 20 at one point there. And the bases that do matter, 1, 2, and 3, all still healthy. Apparently they did get that, DT. Ooh, he doesn't have Ultralisk speed yet. What's in LancerX's economic situation looking like? He's got this base. This one's just about mined out. This is what we were afraid of. LancerX. I mean, Infected flipped the map in the way he needed to. 6 versus 4, and now this base is just gone. It has 50 minerals left. That one has 28. LancerX has 1 base. This is it. He has a very high supply count, but he needs to kill something here. He needs to kill off one of these side bases to slow down Infected's economy, and more importantly, to take a second base. He cannot be off of one mining base in this situation. It just won't work versus this kind of Zerg play. Oh boy. And he is investing a lot into this attack. He's now completely surrounded. Oh! Oh! Some very nice... Oh! Brutal storms on these Ultralisks. And it never looks like the storms do much damage to the Ultralisks, but they are so weak now. Oh, Plague. A Plague. And this is going to be representative of how Infected's going to win this game. It's just a war of attrition. You just do damage where you can. And LancerX will not be able to recover from it. At least it's not looking that way. The probes are transferring out. He's got to figure out a way to smash a base. He invested a lot. He took out this base. Now, can he secure it? Can he secure it? I'm surprised all the Ultralists pulled back. Wow. What? What are we broodlinging? The High Templars? Alright, we're ensnaring. We are ensnaring with the queens. Mass ensnare. Infected. You have less supply than your opponent. Are you insane? When I was metagaming, in no point was there the step of build 5 queens for mass ensnare. Infected. Infected. It's actually working. Oh, wow. He is going to be able to take out this army. I don't know how much the ensnare actually had to do with that, but damn, it looks cool. Damn, it looks cool. He will get a little bit of economic damage off, but beautiful trade for Infected. He would trade this entire base if it meant taking out that army. Because Infected, because Infected just has this to worry about. Just that little bit of mining. And LancerX cannot reproduce quickly enough. Wow, look at that. 150 supply actually out, 180 supply. That is 30 supply in eggs right now. And Infected, oh man, he smashed that U-key. He smashed that U-key hard, and this base is going to come down. He does not need defilers. He does not need lings. He just needs a whole heap and helping of Ultralisks. And man, Lance is going to send like a few more units up in this direction, but that's all he can do. GG. Go Fighting Spirit. Wow. Infected has made me so happy. Oh man. Do it again. Do it again, please. Please make that kind of play standard. That's how Zerg should be. That's how Zerg should be. Alright. In the top right is my new personal hero, Infected. 2 o'clock. In the bottom left is Russia. Russia's player, LancerX, who needs a win here. Russia can't afford to go down 0-2 and Technics hasn't even played yet. Like, just thinking about this realistically, Technics hasn't played yet. That's going to be a very difficult set for Russia to win. Eastern Europe has shown that their 2v2 team is top-notch. They Infected Technics is a devastating team. It's going to be hard for Russia to beat that either. And then there's a potential ace match they'd have to beat Technics in. It's stacked up very difficult for Russia if LancerX can't win this. I mean, obviously Russia has a whole big stable of players. Largo, very talented. Largo versus Technics would be a very even set, but he's going to have to beat him twice. Russia has had some 2v2 teams. I don't know who they're going to use today. But, Spectre and Takoya aren't bad. If, Defi and Plumum want to play, they're pretty good. But man, like, starting down 0-2 against Eastern Europe. Ew. Ugh. Alright. So. Interesting. LancerX is actually going to go Gateway first again. I had said before that I thought the Gateway first was a map match point specific thing, just because it's a lot stronger on match point. And on Fighting Spirit, it's not as strong, but it can still be effective. Certainly, it's just better on match point. By having out these extra zealots, you get these 4 zealots early, 3 or 4 zealots early, depending on how you want to look at it, and you can do one of 2 things with them. Option 1, you attack with 4 zealots. Zerg is very greedy; they don't want to have to build defenses then, and you can do a lot of damage with 4 zealots. Option 2 is you keep the zealots back, potentially even hide them, and attack with 10 zealots. Once speed and +1 finishes, 10 to 12 zealots. And Zerg isn't expecting quite that numbers. They can hold off 7. They have defenses exactly enough for 7, but 10's too much. And if you can take out a base at that stage in the game, it's pretty much game over. So that's 2 things that LancerX can do with this. Obviously, the problems with going gateway first is the fact that you don't have many cannons, and Zergling run-bys can be a little bit scary. We'll see what happens. I think that LancerX is going to be able to hold it off, though. He already has a good number of zealots out, and I don't even know if Infected knows where his opponent is yet. I'm pretty sure he's got it through process of elimination. Alright. I think the chat's... I'm pretty sure... I haven't read it all, but I'm pretty sure the chat right now is talking about Sonic Star League. I would appreciate it if there were no spoilers onto how that went. I haven't seen it, so I kind of don't want to be spoiled, but if I get spoiled, it's kind of okay. Not a huge issue. But for inevitably, there are a good number of people in here who have not quite seen it yet, because it's on a pretty inconvenient time for where I am. I think it was on at 2 a.m. So, yeah. Please refrain from spoiling if you can. That'd be nice. Alright. So. Oh. Infected. Infected? What is this? That's not an evolution chamber. Don't do this to me, man. We're pals. Anyway, it looks like LancerX did want to go with a smaller zealot attack, but interestingly, does it rather late. I mean, they're going out before this hatchery could be canceled, or excuse me, after that hatchery could be canceled, but I don't think that's it. It's just a kind of a weird attack from LancerX. And really, Infected just needs to put a bunch of lings here. And doesn't need to really bust up the ramp. You can just leave them there for all he cares. Huh. No! Infected! Don't build a big mushroom thing with tentacles. I thought we were pals. We were no tentacle mushroom pals. Aww. Fine. Infected. He's gonna go play Standard. He's gonna go get Scourged to go fight Corsairs. Ugh. What a jackass. And I'm just disappointed because Infected was going to be my own personal anti-Spire hero, and he was going to usher in a new wave of ZVZ that did not build a Spire. They're not ZVZ, but a new wave of Zerg play that did not build a Spire. And now he's not doing that. Now, so this is going to be a little bit interesting. Infected is going to be able to get a little bit of a SimCity up here. It seems like it could be a little bit late, but he should be able to get a SimCity here. And LancerX is going to attack with a good number of zealots from the front, and then these 3 zealots from the back. This is actually going to be quite the interesting attack from LancerX here on this base. At least I assume that that's what he's gearing up for right now. Well, never mind. That +1 is very slow. And I don't think he has speed coming. Yeah, take it all back. Instead, he's going to go for Fast Templar and +1 on air weapons. I really thought he was going to go for some kind of pincer move here. He still might. He still could just go with, like, no upgrade speed lots. It might be effective. Anyway. Looks like the... Oh, the Zealots had to run back because there was a Hydralisk. And... probably was the wrong idea because they're all going to die and I don't think they get a single kill. Oh, they got one Zergling. Alright. Might have been a better idea to just sit on the ramp and attack down it. Alright. So. We do have our +1 done on our Corsairs. How much? Ooh, Storm just started. Okay. Those are going to be some very early Templar then. And they're not going to have Storm for quite a while. Infected, is he going with the Hydralisk follow-up? Yeah, he's going with a bigger Hydralisk follow-up. Ooh. Darn, I missed one Zealot running up here. Alright. Okay. Now, +1 air weapons for Infected here. Wants to do a little bit to try to counter the Corsair numbers. And really, LancerX is going to be able to finish Storm before anything bad happens. So that's not going to be a huge factor here. Really, the only thing going on right now is LancerX trying to pick up as many Overlord kills as he can. He only has 4 Corsairs? Really? He got +1 air weapons, but then only got 4 Corsairs. Not most common? No, he has more than that. I think some of them died, because he should certainly have more than 1 kill. But still, I'm surprised he cut production. Excuse me. Alright, I think this cannon gets unpowered. Right? Yeah. I think it's a shame that more Protoss buildings don't have animations. Actually. Sorry. Mula's coming in trying to get some Templar snipes. Actually doing a really good job of Templar snipes, and maybe the freaking mushroom thing. Kinda gonna be helpful in this game, and the +1 Corsairs are now gonna come back and kill off some of the Mutilators. Infected. Alright. Anyway, I completely lost my train of thought of what I was talking about before the Mutalists came in. Oh well. Oh, right. I was saying I wish more Protoss buildings moved so that they could get unpowered mid-animation. And then I was thinking, because I was thinking that they that Protoss buildings didn't have as many buildings that showed something was going on in them as the other races. But they have more than Zerg does, and really all the animations are just like flashing or spinning or something like that. That wouldn't show it when they unpowered; they just go off. So yeah, and then I'm trying to think of buildings that move, which is pretty much just defensive structures, right? Just missile turrets, sunken colonies, and photon cannons. Other than Terran buildings that can fly, but that's not the kind of movement I'm talking about. Like, that have different sprites. More than 2 sprites. That doesn't even work for Terran buildings, because they have like 5 sprites when they're going from ground to air. You know what I'm trying to say. You guys understand. I hope. Alright, and Lancer is moving out. He actually has pretty bad upgrades, just +1 at this point. that +1 did start very late. I don't know if he started +2 as soon as the +1 finished. But here go the Mutalisks back in to try to snipe some more Templar. He's going to be able to hit one, and oh boy, here comes a lot more Mutalisks. They're just going to eat into those Corsairs. But LancerX has to be regretting at this point not making more +1 Corsairs. I mean, the +1 Corsairs are doing a lot of damage to the Mutalisks and holding them off, but if he had more, then the Mutalisks would be stopped completely in their tracks. They're coming in once again. No, they're not coming in, they're just trying to fly over. Oh! What a storm! Not only killing 4 Hydralisks, but also killing all of the Mutalisks. A brutal one, and the drones transferring right through the storm. Oh, LancerX, it does not get much better than that. Infected, just GG's. And we are going to tie this up 1-1. One second. Yes. I gotta save these files because the person who sent me the replays is going to go away. Alright, they should be downloading now. Nope. Nope. Makes our computer a little bit slower than it should as we go into game 3. There we go. Okay, so I got my 2v2 and oh, there it is. Yeah, let me get this squared away real quickly. Just need to extract the folder and then put all of these things into my StarCraft folder. Man, is it going slow. Okay. Alright. Get them in there. Get them in there. We're good. We're good. Alright, we can start this up. So, going into game 3. LancerX versus Infected. Oh, you are not playing. Okay. So, in the top right, as the green Zerg is Infected. That's the 2 o'clock position. And in the bottom right, as the orange Protoss is LancerX. As the 5 o'clock position, we are tied up 1-1 in quite an interesting series. And Infected was looking pretty good there. He did manage to get a lot of Templar snipes with his Mutalisks, but the Templars that did live, because of just how many LancerX made, he was going to have some live, and oh, no, sorry. A little bit off with my timings. I thought that probe was on 7, and I was like, what? What are we proxying? But no, it's a very normally timed probe. Alright. So, what I was trying to say was, yeah, the storms that LancerX was able to get off in that last game were just simply too strong. Just way too strong for Infected to handle. Alright, so in the top right we have Overpool from Infected. And we'll see what LancerX has done. He has gone Gateway first 2 times now. Oh. Did it show that my name was Tom? Yes. In fact, my name is Tom. And actually, a funny story about that, since Largo brought it up. My dad's name is also Tom. And his roommate in college for 4 years was a guy he met there, coincidentally named Jerry. So for 4 years they were Tom and Jerry. Although it kind of didn't work out as well as it should have, because Jerry was a giant. Jerry's like 6'5". So nobody confused Jerry with a mouse. But, you know, it was still kind of funny. I met Jerry a couple times. He's a really nice guy. Met him a couple times when I was a lot younger, though. Like 12. I should put a caveat on that, because Americans tend to be taller than Europeans, or really anywhere else in the world. So 6'5" is obviously tall here, but not as ridiculously superhuman tall as it would be other places. Also, some of you don't know what 6'5" is. That's reasonable, because I don't know what 6'5" is in centimeters. It's like 215 or something. I'm gonna guess 220. I'm gonna guess 6'5" is 220 centimeters. No, 215. I'm gonna go 215. Don't know if I'm right. Somebody's gonna come in about 2 minutes and tell me exactly how far off I was. Javelitaran, that's not fair. Because you're Swedish. So you are also taller than most of Europe. But, like, compared to Italians? Or anywhere not in Scandinavia? Yeah, Americans are taller. Compared to Scandinavians, it's similar. I don't have, like, statistics on average heights from around the world in front of me. Bullshit. Don't tell me go look at soccer, because then I'll just say go look at the NBA, and then you lose. Because there's like 2 Europeans in there, and one of them is Ricky Rubio, and he's a midget. So, yeah. Don't tell me to go look at professional sports. Alright. Anyway. I like how simultaneously in the chat, somebody is saying Americans are not tall because we shouldn't count people who came from Africa. And then somebody else says Americans are not tall because you have to count all the people who came from Asia. You don't get to have it both ways. Either we don't count all those people, or we do count all those people. Oh. Alright. Painwalker's calling out the fact that I don't know the NBA. When I said there were 2 Europeans, I know Ricky Rubio and Pau Gasol. I did not know Pau Gasol had a brother in the NBA. So there you go. You have exposed me as an NBA fraud. I don't watch it. Alright. Anyway. Bastard. We haven't seen, both players have actually gone from very interesting aggressive openings and slowly devolved into simpler and simpler ones, and now we're back at pretty much standard ZVP. LancerX did not go for Gateway first this time, so he has a much lower number of Zealots, and we don't see him with an early Templar Archives, hasn't been thrown down yet. And Infected, getting up a bit faster SimCity, and just playing safe behind it. We see him with really, that's not a very high number of links. It's only 8. It's about normal. Wait, what? 6.6.5 feet is only 195 centimeters? That's not right. Because 6 foot is like 2 meters. And I know 6 foot's a little bit less than 2 meters because a meter 3 feet isn't quite a meter, but I don't think a meter's that much longer than a yard, right? God damn it. A foot is 30 centimeters. Is that right? Foot's 30 centimeters? Doing math in my head on the spot. Never a good idea, but I tend to do it a lot during casts. Alright. Whatever. I'm like 6'2", and I'm really not that much taller than average. So, I'm just going off of anecdotal evidence. And I've been to Germany, and everybody in Germany is short. That's what I'm basing everything off of. And I'm fine just generalizing about that. That's cool. So, Storm's finishing up for LancerX. He only has 1 High Templar, and actually, interesting army composition in that it's really not a composition, it's just speed lots. But it's still, speed lots are going to be very hard for Infected to deal with here. He does not have any, he does not have any lurkers. And really, the Storm was a complete waste. The Templar was forced to use it because it thought it was going to die, but no lurkers. There are no lurkers out for Infected right now. Oh. Infected. Infected, why do you not have lurkers? Why did you want to engage that without lurkers? Why have you not started lurkers at all? You've had a lair up for a very long time now. Alright, well, this is rather bad for Infected. He at least is able to snipe off the High Templar, but there we go. Lurker upgrade finally started. And really, this is just coming down to now, Infected has to attempt to hold off this army of speedlots until the lurkers arrive. He can sit behind a SimCity and be relatively safe, but after sniping that first High Templar, that's really nice. But I think LancerX, with 1 good Storm, he's got this. If he can get 1 good Storm, and he's going to have 3 before the lurkers come out. Oh man, Infected, why are you still attacking? Infected, you gotta play it safe. You gotta play it safe, although he is getting a Templar snipe and didn't lose anything, so that's really good. Another Overlord going to go down. Man, God, I don't. That storm could have been worse. I mean, he got a good number of Hydralisks, he got a good number of his own Zealots too. It looked about the same, which is better for Protoss. I just don't know why Infected's attacking. You're going 4-base. You should be turtling. You should get Lurkers faster and turtle. Turtle really hardcore. He is finally getting the Lurkers. There are no observers out. And only a couple of High Templars. So, ooh, getting at least one. Burrow! Alright, we got some Lurkers. Oh, but they're right next to each other! They're right next to each other! There's only one Lurker left, and I just don't think it can do enough damage on its own. There we go. Infected! Oh, he was playing so brilliantly! And then this game happened, and oh. Man. Yeah. So, Infected. I mean, you're gonna go 4-base. Perfectly legitimate way to play. Gotta get Lurkers faster. Mutalisks, you can totally skip over Mutalisks. We've talked about this. And by we've talked about this, I mean I've commentated on how it's awesome. But we've established Mutalisks unnecessary, but Lurkers actually are really good. You should make them. I think that would have helped this game. LancerX is gonna go and try to snipe the lair. Should be able to get it. Yeah, the lair does go down. And then can come back and start to do some more damage to the Hydralisks. Oh, wow. They're going to take out almost all the Hydralisks, and there is still a Lurker left? But it doesn't matter. GG. Oh, man. LancerX pulling it out in the end. Very nice. 2-1, and we are tied up 1-1 in the overall score. Russia versus Eastern Europe.